Another weekend of boating recreation. Here we are in the shed. One warm day, 65 degrees, and one really cold day today. So we've been screwing around with these reading lights forever, trying to get them in and get them right. That one we installed last weekend, and this weekend we installed the other one. There it is. Just beautiful. They do look nice. So we crawled down there, opened the engine hatches. First time this winter we've had them open. Crawled down there, and everything was still the same as it was last fall, luckily. And we ran the wires across under the deck that you can see in the foreground. He used attachment points we already had with zip ties that work really well, actually. And ran them to a terminal post we have down there where we have 12 volts available, and connected them. It wasn't fun down there, but the zip ties get cold, the wire gets really cold and hard to strip, but you know, no complaints. What the hell, we got it done, and crawled back up to see what the effect was. All these damn things better work after all the effort went into them. Whoa! Probably blew you out. See what's going on here. Point him down. That's kind of dramatic. That one's working. Let's check the other one. Oh! Joy! We have light. And they look pretty good too. They look pretty good pointed down. Not quite so much glare. But they're going to be good for reading over in the at the table. So yeah, successful project. About time. So what's left, you may ask? Question we ask ourselves every weekend. Not a lot of big things, but well, one big thing. The tracks on this door over here to my right are pretty well worn, and they're still working, but we need to replace the little wheels that run in tracks on the track on the bottom, and we've got a line on those wheels. Home Depot, as a matter of fact, carries them. It's a pretty common slider wheel. But we've got to take the bottom of the door apart, which should be cute. And we're going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. Got the inside of the boat cleaned up. Didn't make it too messy this year, so it's nice. We don't have to clean up. The window tinting project is on hold right now until we can get the boat down to Norwich, because the guy that we think is going to do the tinting is in Montville, which is close to us, and we want to see what this stuff is going to look like before he slaps it on the boat. Other than that, only a few projects that were written down last summer, all of which I've managed to forget, but I'm sure Francis will surface the list soon and say, oh, remember you were going to whatever. That's fine. I love it. And we'll take care of it. So I think Sunday afternoon, a little on the chilly side. Still early, but I'm going to call it a day and go back and read the New York Times, which I haven't gotten to yet. So we'll see you. One other little project that's been on our list that we've managed to get some progress on is the triangles on the outside of the boat, the bottoms of which had rotted away. They were plywood, fiberglass over plywood. And so here's the inside piece. And that one's now patched. It still has to be painted. But that piece fine, fits behind the molding. It'll disappear, I think, when once it's finished. We get finished with painting. And the one on the outside, that's a bigger piece. We've endlessly trimmed and cut and trimmed and cut. And I think we've got a piece that fits pretty nicely now. And we're going to install that next weekend after one little adjustment. Before we left, we have to go out and look at the river, of course. Something about boat yards in the winter that fascinated us, but we looked up at the river and see it was pretty high. Here's the river gauge for just 3 miles downstream. See, it went all the way up to flood stage and then it's coming back down. But it will be, it'll be up this spring. A lot of snow to melt up there. We're going to see it because we're going to be down here, getting ready to go back in the water.